This is Doug Evans, the President and CEO of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce. You're listening to Your Palm Beach Guide. And today we've got an interesting guest along with my co-host here, Kiana Rivera, who of course works at the Chamber with me, one of my colleagues. And we're gearing up now for what's going to be a very, very busy year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a guest today who is with one of our members. He's also got a leadership role in one of our organizations, Chaitanya Banthia. And Chai is one of the professionals at Hedrick Brothers Construction. And welcome, Chai. We're glad you're here today.
Thank you.
So how long have you been at Let's talk about Hedrick Brothers first, because that's what's most important with our members. How long have you been there? Who are they? What's a bit of their history?
Yes.
And what do they do? So
it's a family-owned business. Been over 45 years in business at this point, 2023. And I've been with them. It's the first job out of school. I went to Clemson for my master's, graduated, and I was just looking for jobs on LinkedIn. Cold emailed them, and HR called me in 2 hours. They flew me down in a week, interviewed me, and offered me a job in 2 hours. And it was just because someone liked a post on LinkedIn and it came on mine, and I just sent an info at Hedrick Brothers an email that, hey, do y'all have any jobs available? Are y'all hiring?
Wow.
Surprisingly, they were hiring someone else for my role, and that person didn't want that role. So they suddenly had an opening come up, and it just, every stars just aligned. And I was ready to I was like, I'll do anything, whatever y'all want. I'm ready to start working.
It's fate. It's meant to be. And What is the role? What's the role? What do they hire you as your role? And tell us about you, what's your career and what you're doing.
I started as an assistant estimator for them, doing anything and everything for the chief estimator at that time. And over the years, I've been there just over 6 years now. I have then took over being the estimator. And in the past couple of years, I've taken over the pre-construction manager for the luxury residential division. The company, Hedrick Brothers, does commercial construction and luxury residential. Commercial is extremely diverse, where we're doing aerospace, we're doing automobile, we're doing country clubs, we're doing multifamily, extremely diverse on the commercial side. The luxury residential is a niche industry in Palm Beach County, especially Palm Beach Island. That's where we started. That's what was our bread and butter when we started. And then as the company grew, we had the two divisions, the commercial and luxury residential. So I focus on luxury residential. I'm on most of my work is on Palm Beach Island. So I'm front end dealing with clients, architects, helping them get to a position where we can apply for permits. I'll manage small jobs, mostly relationship jobs is what I take care of for clients. And then from there, I take them through permitting, and the construction team takes over and they build it. So I'm juggling 5-10 projects at a time at different stages, building the pipeline for the company. So I enjoy what I do. Part of it is business development, which is just, I just took it on. It wasn't a requested role, but I enjoy it. So I was like, why not do it?
I mean, 6 years is in today's business world is a more than average run. It's 2 years for most people. So 6 years, I think, speaks volume about you as a professional and also Hedrick Brothers as a company. I mean, anybody I've spoken to seems like once they go to work for Dale Hedrick and Hedrick Brothers, they're there for a long time. And the reputation of Dale and the company is sterling. It's amazing. And when I met with him and had lunch with him a few weeks ago, we were talking about the different projects. And, one is a rental residential property just off of Interstate 95 in Palm Beach Lakes, one of those places. And what's interesting about this, Chai, is that he said they had, however many units are, the pre-application was like 10 times the amount of space available in the building. So that speaks that we've got a challenge here in the Palm Beaches in housing.
Yes.
Let alone affordable housing. So you've got all that. And then you're talking interestingly about housing on Palm Beach Island.
Yes.
And of course, I live on the island, so I'm watching these houses go up. And of course, for our listeners who don't know this, these houses sell for 50, 60, 70 million dollars. Some of them sell for $100 million. Yeah. I'm seeing a new one being built right now that I think is a spec house, and they're putting a tunnel under the road to the beach, which is maybe true, I don't know. But, how did you train to work in luxury houses? Because these are specific type projects. They're not just a run-of-the-mill track house in an addition. They're all different in Palm Beach. So tell me how you got into that.
My internship was when I was in South Carolina. I interned with a 3-person company. These 2 Irish immigrants, super nice guys, and I called them, just cold called them, and said, "I'll do anything. Don't pay me. I just want work. I just want to do something over the summer." They were kind enough to offer me $7 an hour to take care of my living expenses. But that opened my eyes towards custom homes. And these were they were doing nice lakefront homes, but it was a small company, small operation, but they exposed me to the industry. And that's what I realized, that I like custom homes. I like the touch of the family who's gonna live in it is actually building it. That's what drove me towards custom residential over spec homes, because you never know the end user. The vision is very different when the family who's going to build it is actually going to live in it. They care more. There isn't really a school that teaches you luxury residential. I think you develop an eye for that.
Sure.
When I started, I had no idea what I was doing. The first time when I moved to Florida, the only time I'd been to Florida was Panama City Beach for spring break, and that was my Florida experience.
That's not where we
Spring
live.
break.
So it's a lovely area, but it's not where we live in South
So when
Florida.
I moved here, and the first time my then mentor, I don't call him boss, I'll call him mentor, when he drove me on Palm Beach, I don't think I blinked for the hour. I was like, what is this? Where am I? And then now going to make that as I'd call it my outdoor office. It's just amazing to see what we do. And you just develop an eye for that. It's the team that works with me, I've got a few young guys who work with me out of school. The one thing I keep reminding them is that on Palm Beach, the clients that we deal with, they're surrounded by suits all the time.
All the time.
They're used to a yes sir, yes ma'am attitude, and they're used to the top of the top in every industry. Their doctor, their pet groomer, their lawyer, whoever it is the top in the industry. That's what we bring in. That's how I have been trained to bring in, is you're always on your A game. There are no shortcuts.
No.
Because the hard work that the clients have put in their life, they've bought everything. The only limit thing that they have is time. That's why they hire Hedrick Brothers, is when we say we'll do it and when we do it, we'll do it. It comes with a price tag.
Mm-hmm.
But the clients have built that portfolio to afford that, and they're expecting, and most of the clients, this is not their first home. This is their fifth or sixth home. So our job is to make sure that when they think of construction, they think of us. Even if they're building in Ireland, they're thinking of us. Like,
Sure.
okay, this is how I want y'all to do things. That's how I've been mentored, is that it's all about client experience. It's all about repeat business. Most of our work on luxury residential is repeat business.
Oh, that's great.
Or from client referrals, which we're blessed to be standing on the shoulder of giants with Dale Hedrick and Gene Parker, building that reputations. We've built tunnels in the past. We've done a couple of tunnels on the island.
For $1 million
Wow.
to get to your beach. It's like,
Yes.
that works,
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
So in the current market, 15, 60 million is a deal on
Yeah,
Palm Beach Island.
it is.
You're getting a nice house.
It's a bit of a bargain, yeah,
Yes.
at this point, that you want to tear down maybe at some point.
Yes.
It's amazing. You know, when people say to you, and I think about this, I've got friends who are redoing their houses on the island, and one just went and bought a Lobmeyer chandelier. It's like, okay, I knew what it was, because the Lobmeyer is this beautiful designer in Europe that all the chandeliers, I think at the Kennedy Center and the Metropolitan Opera House, all those fixtures are Lobmeyer chandeliers. And the prices are just staggering. And I'm sure, you know, even if I don't know what a Lobmeyer is, I'm sure people say to you, oh, I would like an XYZ in this, and I'm thinking about that. So I think for you, maybe as a professional, you have to go, okay, I can work on that and do the research and present it back, I'm assuming, because literally money's not an issue.
Right. It's funny because when money is not an issue, it's always an issue. So it's always an open checkbook till the checkbook's opened. Fortunately, our clients, because most of our best clients are teams who have built before. If the client has built a home before, they're our best clients because they understand where to push back and where not to.
Mm-hmm.
And we are always there to support them. Like our job, and the one thing that what I've learned being with Hedrick Brothers, we're successful because we try to bring the whole team together. We like to be in control. We're all like the leadership, aggressive, forward personalities, where we want to bring the whole team together, and we want to be and make sure that the design team, the owners, every project schedule has everyone accountable. The owner is accountable for some tasks as well. So if
Yes.
I'm hitting a date, everyone has to play a part in it. So with that said, I mean, you're going from, let me come back to the thought.
Okay. And while you're coming back to the thought, though, I was thinking about this also. You and I had lunch a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. Time flies when you're having fun. When you think about this, you went to Clemson, and then when did you come to the States?
I came to, that's fun. I mean, I moved to the States in 2015.
Okay.
And I came here for my further education. In 2014, December is when I told my family that my friends are pursuing for further education, and I want to give it a shot. I applied for the exams. I gave the GRE and ended up getting a decent enough score. And I was like, I want this specific program, which was construction engineering and management, because I didn't want to leave my civil engineering roots behind.
And that was at Clemson, correct? You were going to Clemson.
Yeah, so
Great
I applied
school,
for a couple
amazing.
schools, and my only reason to move to Clemson was it had seasons. I had Michigan options, I had New York options, I had California options. And I was like, okay, too cold, too expensive. I'm going to move to Clemson because it looks like the winters are not bad. That was my only decision.
No, they're not bad. They're not bad.
Yes. I mean, one of my part-time job was student patrol officer. We used to start at 9 p.m. at night and go through 5 a.m. in the morning. And all you do is walk around student housing. In December, that was not fun.
No, no.
That's when I realized that I changed my jobs and I went to start working at Starbucks. So I was a barista for a few months.
Oh my goodness, you were a barista too?
I loved it.
I was a barista in college.
Yes, it's so fun.
I can't believe that.
And then ended up going and I became great friends with the manager who was from South Carolina. She was like, can we just call you Chai?
Sure.
I'm like,
Chai.
I'm like, you're paying me, call me anything that you want. I was a student at that point. I'm like, anything that's going to give me money, you can call me Chai. That's how Chai stuck.
If you're just checking in, this is Doug Evans, the president and CEO of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce. You're listening to Your Palm Beach Guide, a program of the Chamber of Commerce right on the island of Palm Beach, so the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, with Chaitanya. Correct?
Banthia.
I'll get it right. Jay Banthia. I'm trying to get it right. Sometimes I'm good. And Keanu Rivera, who's one of my teammates here at the Chamber. So, Chai, with this, and you're here in the States now, clearly you've been here 6 years. You went to Clemson also on top of that. I guess you like being in the States and you must love Palm Beach, even on days like today when it's 150 degrees outside. And you are now the new chairperson of the Palm Beach Young Professionals, our young professional organization.
Yes.
And one of the reasons to have you here today, many reasons, is to talk about your career and your life, which thank you for sharing that, and Hedrick Brothers, who we're all big fans of. Tell me about the Young Professionals and how long you've been involved in it and your vision for the future of it, and just about the organization. Because I think that most organizations who have young professionals involved, whether it's an arts group or something else, they're not as robust as this one is. I mean, this is just huge and it's very popular. So tell us about it and when you got involved and just fill us in a little bit here.
Yeah. So when I moved to West Palm, this was 2017. That's when I moved to West Palm Beach. Knowing no one, I had friends in the office, and our marketing director, she suggested that I start being a part of the Young Professionals group. So the first one that popped up, we were already sponsoring. So we decided, she was like, go start attending events. And that's how I got involved. I was just trying to meet people because I just moved in town and didn't know anyone. My closest friends were in Tampa, and 3 hours every weekend wasn't fun. So I ended up attending the monthly events. In 2 years, I attended events. And then right around COVID is when I got on the committee. And being on the committee for 2 years now, and this year took it over. I think the group of people who founded this group found it with a really perfect vision. Like, they wanted people to connect, and they wanted to bring an experience where it didn't feel like it felt professional. It felt casual enough where young professionals or young individuals would want to come out and outside of work hours and do business. But at the same time, they still get something out of it. So same line I use, I'm standing on shoulder of giants, like what the teams have done before us, and we call them our now legacy members. They have worked so hard in building that brand to make it, I like to call it, the most successful young professionals group in the Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
The key factor that I think has kept us being that successful is in the committee. One, we handpick our committee. There is no application process. We handpick throughout the year. We observe committee members, like team members who are attending, who are connected, who are talking to people, and we handpick the committee members.
People who are actively engaged and wanting to really be involved and lead.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. I mean it's like you're bringing this cluster of super connected people together in one room, and now you've just built a big web of connections through them. What differentiates our group, I've been blessed to be a part of a couple other young professional groups. What I've noticed with our group is every individual has a responsibility and they're accountable for it. What that means is, as a young professional, I think that's key, because now you're getting real life experience and a responsibility outside your work, and you're being accountable for it. As a young professional, now you're getting free exposure because of it. And if I'm doing something for the group, I want to show that to my friends and to my peers. So I bring in 10 people with me. And having 8 people on the committee, that's a free 80 people that people bring in because you've put in the work. Now, if I just show up and all I'm doing is pushing PBYP, I'm going to be committed, but Now, if I put in the work for PBYP, I want to bring people in.
There's no growth there.
That's how we have grown over the past couple of years. We've grown exponentially, and we continue to grow. Now, the visions with the group would be, with the growth, how do you maintain the core ethos of how do you maintain where people actually get to connect, where it doesn't feel like we are over 200 members, it doesn't feel like you came and you spoke with the same 5 people and you left. So we're already speaking, we had a kickoff meeting last week with the committee. We're trying to incorporate changes of how do we at every event have sessions or call them icebreakers for people to meet new people. We will be having exclusive events for members only. Most of our events are on Palm Beach Island during season. Those events have limited capacity.
Yeah, the spaces.
I like it that way because if it's a 60-person event, you could, if you tried hard, can talk with 60 people in that evening. If it's 150 people, you cannot. So I think this allows you to continually build new connections. In my company, with Hedrick Brothers, we have a young professionals email chain that I send out all these events out to and get people to attend. I keep telling them and reminding them that when you're talking with a young professional, you're speaking with a future leader. Mm-hmm. So right now, they may be an associate doing anything and everything, but 5 years from now, that's your point of contact in that industry.
Correct.
So why not build that connection right now? Why not invest in those networks right now, where when you are a seasoned professional, where you are a decision maker, you know all the decision maker, not just in your industry, but I know whom to call for finance now. I know whom to call for legal issues. I know whom to call if I want a co-working space. Mm-hmm. So, and these are people whom I've met just through young professionals. So I know 5 or 10 years from now, these are all people in my cell phone.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because, when I see this group, when they come together at events, and I've had the great pleasure of being to a few of them this last year, the one 2 weeks ago at Vinyl Fish Club, a restaurant in downtown West Palm Beach, for the listeners, it's hot, it's summer, and the assumption is nobody's around. To have 150 people show up to an event, a cocktail hour, a mixer that was a combination of business members, young professionals, to me is astounding. It doesn't happen in this market. So what you've accomplished with the group is phenomenal. It really is. And it's growing, and the reputation is huge. The reputation is huge on this group. And in my day, which was the last century, Kiana, thank you very much, as you would say, we had these kinds of groups, but they weren't as dynamic as this. And it wasn't comfortable to go. You felt like you were kind of out of sorts with it. So whatever you're doing to make these so welcoming and in an environment where you want to talk to people, is terrific. So a new person can come and not feel like, I don't know anybody, so I don't want to go. And I just watch these people get together and they're all just talking to everybody. And, it's my job and it's your job as leaders to take people and bring them together, which I like doing. That's something for me to do, something for you to do on top of everything else. So I like that very much. And I applaud you for making that happen. Your vision for the future going forward with this, obviously it's going to continue to grow. Mm-hmm. I mean, the market's growing. More and more people are moving here, more young professionals. You look in downtown West Palm Beach, it's exponential the next 5 years. I would think, based on what you have done and the legacy leaders, and you're going to be asked in a minute who the legacy leaders are, Kiana, so just be thinking about this. I wanted to warn you. It's going to grow and it's going to get bigger, and we've got to find a way to manage that because people want to grow their careers here. Mm-hmm. People are coming here, not leaving. And that's great. I'm happy about that. I'm one of the people who's happy about the exponential growth of the market because it's a very sophisticated exponential growth. It's bankers, financiers, engineer, construction, all these wonderful businesses that are making Palm Beach County so unique to the rest of the state of Florida. Am I proud of it? Yes. Am I a little, biased? Absolutely. Because we've got the best place. So what's your vision for saying, okay, if you add another 100 people this next year, which is possible?
Yes.
How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do?
So a couple of things we've spoken already about. That's a good point you bring up. Last week, that was one of the points that came up in our committee meeting was, what's the goal? Mm-hmm. Like, how many people are we trying to get to? It's a positive and a negative if you have 300 people as members. The negative would be, how do you make sure every person knows every person? So what we're thinking about or planning for is 2+ events this year where there's no cap, where people can attend. Now, that could be as simple as going to the ballparks for a game and inviting everyone as members and having a social idea before or after that. Right. We've spoken about bigger venues where we could have more people who could come out and have a bigger mixer. Now, with limited attendance, we always have a wait list. Correct. That was one thing I spoke about as soon as I started, is we have a person on the committee now who's dedicated to managing the wait list. And as soon as people are on the wait list, and if they don't get in that event, at the next event, we have spots reserved for the wait list.
At the top, yeah.
So they automatically get in the next event. So always, as much as we want our regular routine members to be at the events, we want them to also meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
So with Kiana and Gabby's hard work on social media, these events sell out quick.
They do.
Like they sell out within 2 or 3 days, especially during season. Summer, most of our locations have been open enough to have more people. So we were able to accommodate more people. Like you said, over 100 people at the last event. But during season, it gets hard. And we don't want to lose our young professionals' interest that I've paid for the whole year and I haven't been able to be a part of any events. So how do we make sure that happens, that we make sure that they get to be a part of the groups? Amanda and Kayla, who we've recruited in our committee and who are going to be our member liaisons, their role is dedicated towards member experience. Mm-hmm. This is new member and existing members.
Good.
One of the tasks they're taking on is voluntarily, they're willing to call every member who's been a part of us for more than 2 years this year, not just to tell them that, hey, thanks for paying and good luck. We're calling and saying that we want you to attend. You have paid for this. Please come and attend our events. Let us know if you have any issues, and we're looking for feedback. I was talking with our marketing, one of our marketing leads today in our company, and she gave me more ideas because she's taking a leadership role in a different group. And she gave me a bunch of other ideas. Like, I want to involve our membership more. How do we do that? We have partnered with Path to College as our nonprofit of the year.
Good.
So there's going to be volunteering opportunities for young professionals to support a nonprofit. That was one of the feedback we had received last year and the year before is we want to do nonprofit. We want to support nonprofit organizations. Last year, we started a pilot project with Corey's leadership at Quantum House.
Which was terrific, by the way.
Which was great. We kept it limited to committee members because we were trying to see how this works. How if we're getting good traction and everyone enjoyed it.
Kind of like a beta, a test. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we're opening it up to the whole group. So we've already had great conversation with Christine and Carla at Path to College, and they're helping us build custom programs for PBYP because they want to partner with us as well, which shows that the community also values Palm Beach Young Professionals. They see what we bring to the groups. So that opens a new avenue for Palm Beach Young Professionals to get involved. We have education series that Natalia on our group is taking care of. That is 4+ sessions throughout the year. That is just to educate young professionals. That could be business passion. Mm-hmm. We did a session on health, on breathworks. We're doing a session on financing 101. This is catered towards young professionals to see how can we help our membership grow and thrive. With your point of more and more people moving in town, I noticed that at every event. Last event, I had 2 people whom I met who had moved overseas without a job. Mm. And they moved with their friends, and I was talking to them, and I was like, "What? That's a move."
That's bold.
And they came to a young professional event, and they're already networking. They spoke to me of what I want. I spoke to a guy at my gym, and I'm like, "Hey, I have a friend who's looking for some work," and I'm already trying to make that, like, trying to build those connections and get the new people who are moving in the industry.
And that word, and Chai, that word will get out that these things are happening. If you're with us for a little bit here, it's Doug Evans with the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, Kiana Rivera, and Chai Banthia, who's with Hedrick Brothers Construction, also chair of the Palm Beach Young Professionals. As we kind of go into the home stretch here, with what you're doing to connect people, the word will get out that this is almost like a connection to find your future, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I believe in is if we do these events with young professionals and business members, they're hiring and they're looking. Now, I'm not looking to facilitate somebody stealing employees, but I am looking to create opportunities for professional growth. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going to, at some point, even though you've been with Hedrick Brothers for 6 years, you may at some point move on. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll end up buying Hedrick Brothers in the future. Who knows? But most people will move on and look for growth opportunities, either financially, professionally, whatever it might be. So I think this architecture being created, it's terrific. I love the idea of the education sections because even if it's, how to write a resume, because resumes are scanned now and it's a bit of a mess and that kind of thing. But with an unemployment rate of 2% in this county, people are desperate to find good qualified professionals. So, and there's the fun side of young professionals. You've got an event that you do every summer. There's one coming up. Yep. People may be listening to this after the event, but what is it? It's at some place in downtown West Palm Beach. It's a big party, right?
Yes, you are I personally invite you to that event. I think you'll have a blast.
I'm sure.
It's one of my favorite spots in town for a fun summer event. It's at Renegades. It's on Village in West Palm Beach. But that event is one of where we don't have a big cap. Like we can host 100 people. Nicole, who's has gladly offered to have us in that space. And it's from 5:30 to 7:30. And at 7 p.m., they start line dancing classes. So if you're willing to do that, you can come in, hang out a couple more hours. It is a great summer event. I enjoy it because in summer, you tend to have people who want to do stuff, but it's too hot outside. So something like this still gets 100 people together. Still, you get to have fun.
And it's air conditioned, and it's nice. It's pleasant, so it makes for a lot of fun. Kiana, who are the legacy members? Who are a couple of names, people here in the local community who helped get this started?
Yeah, so originally we had Julia Murphy. She's with Habitat Humanity for the Palm Beaches now. We've had Corey Lyon. He has been a legacy member for a long time, as well as Ashley Mock and Taylor Materio. And that's just a handful of people who have served in this role.
Greg Adamos,
he was a chair for a long time. I think Ashley Berry was also a part of this as well.
And these are people who have moved on to really illustrious careers in the local market.
A lot of them are CEOs now or executives over companies, and they've built not that they've built their career through the young professionals, but they have led the young professionals to its success and then moved on to something, bigger and better for their career role. And, we started at 100 people maybe. And
because you were involved also a long time ago.
Yeah, I was a volunteer at first and served on the committee for a couple of years as well. And it's true. That's the stuff that you put on your resume. I put that I was on the Palm Beach Young Professionals Committee on my resume. And
there's the Palm Beach brand #1, which means a lot to people. You send on a resume and you work there, whatever. It makes a lot of sense. And, to harness that with career growth makes a lot of sense. We're one of the wealthiest markets in the world, one of the wealthiest zip codes in the United States. And with that comes really smart people and great companies and great businesses. And great opportunities, if you will. With the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, I said this when I first joined, getting close to a year ago, it's all about the bottom line. It's all about the economy. And Chai, what I like of the many things you're doing with the young professionals is it's about jobs. It's about the economy. It's about networking. It's about growing your career and having fun, of course, at the same time. Mm-hmm. And in many ways, the young professionals have found a way, and you're going to find a way so people to connect that's not hokey, that's not so silly that it's not that you don't want to do it because you want to be professional. We've yet to crack that at the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce with our breakfast of 500 plus people. Right. But we've got to find a way so that people have more of a chance to converse and share. So Chai, any final thoughts for us on either Hedrick Brothers, your career, your life, the young professionals, the market, anything you want to wrap this up with and tell us that you'd like to share with us?
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that I'm really looking forward to is with Doug, your leadership, you've brought in really positive improvements to the chamber. I've been a part of the group for a few years now and already seeing the potential for growth within the past few months. So that's a huge kudos to you, Kiana, and to Gabby for all the work that y'all are putting in to help us go to that next level. I mentioned it in our committee meeting last week is, sure, we are growing exponentially. We notice that there are young professionals group. We want them to see us and see what we're doing in a 10-hour event and benchmark so then they can be what we're doing, and we always keep growing together because that's the whole point. This is not a competition.
No.
We want to make sure that all the young professionals group get to benchmark from each other and keep growing from there. I'm always looking at the main chamber. I'm looking at other groups to see, okay, what are they doing that we could incorporate and grow from? I think that's key. And from people moving down here, the economy thriving in Palm Beach County, I always just say that I want rich people to be rich so they keep me busy. I mean, that's as simple as that. Keeps us all busy, keeps us employed. We've got good, stable jobs with companies that we enjoy working with. Hedrick Brothers as a company, and you pointed out that me being there 6 years is a big point. And the reason I think I'm there for this long is when I interview during the interview, they'll walk you through the company after the interview that this department is what they do. I still remember walking through multiple offices and them saying, "Oh, this is Mike. He's been here 8 years. This is Jack. He's been here 12 years. I'm like, okay, people are sticking around for some reason.
And you're going to find out why.
That's great. I mean, you're a first-time interviewer, and whoever is giving that interview knows how long each person has been at the company. That's a really big deal.
That just speaks a lot to the leadership that Dale Hedrick has built within the company. And as we grow, we have 4 more offices. We have a Orlando office, we have a Pompano office, we have a Melbourne office. So we know we're growing. We have our steady leadership who has we have plans that we know we're going to exceed. But it's always just so good to see how we have organically grown over the past 4 decades and coming to the 5th decade now. And it's just inspiring to work for leaders like that who lead as servant leaders. And
he is, and Dale Hedrick really is. He embodies the true persona of a leader. It's amazing. And to your point, the Chamber of Commerce, the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, is really grateful and fortunate to have Hedrick Brothers as one of our major sponsors. You guys are there through thin and thick and through all the stuff we need. So, Chai Banthia, thank you for coming in. You're with Hedrick Brothers Construction and head of the Palm Beach Young Professionals. You can go to the Chamber of Commerce website, palmbeachchamber.com, to see more about this. And if you are listening to this and want to get involved, reach out to Chai. Give him a call or email or something. We'll get you connected. Keanu Rivera is here here with me. Also, it's Doug Evans, President and CEO of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for listening today. This is your Palm Beach Guide. Thanks for listening.